what is happening. Also, you'll see that the unemployment is at 93%. So it's going to be the same answer to everyone. Okay? Okay, waterworks. And that goes up to page, let's see, they're at, on there, there's 17% of expenditures. Are there any questions for, on waterworks? Oh, all right, that's good. All right, let's go to attorney, county attorney. The bottom line number from him is also at 21% of their expenditures. Are there any questions on the attorney? Okay, I don't see anything, so at 21% of their expenditures, we've noted that. Okay, victim witness assistant grant? Yes, Representative Batson.
Have we lost another or two more assistant county attorneys in the last quarter?
I don't know. Have we lost?
In the last couple of years or months or?
In the last 6 months?
No.
I thought we had someone get out in Stratford County here a while back.
There are 2 of the 3 that are looking for other jobs because of the low pay that they've received here. And I think the county attorney could speak to that. Belknap County, for example, their rate for an assistant county attorney is considerably higher than what we pay. I think our lowest is at $54,000, and they're paying 70 minimum and up to 90 in Belknap County, and some of you delegates may want to check on that. I think another year we should be really looking at what we pay for our assistant county attorneys. Now, some people believe that there's a lot of graduates coming out of college and we can pick them up. What happens is we're training them here, and then they move on to better and bigger things. To me, I would hope that we try to keep the best ones here to do the job that needs to be done here, but that's up to you people.
Yep. So that one, we will, county attorney, who's the subcommittee? I haven't got my subcommittee. We will have them on the front page. Yep, Chris, you probably have a good thing to be able to look at that and that in the chart, see if there needs to be some issues or some discussion about what we do about the assistant county attorneys. Okay? They are at 21% of their expenditures. Are there any further questions? Seeing none, okay. Let's now go to victim witness assistant grant. We are, and again, you'll see workman's comp is wild everywhere. They are at 21% as of March 31st. Are there any questions on victim witness? Seeing none, I'll move on to registry of deeds. It looks like this is our one and only money maker that we have. So let's see. The bottom line for them, as you see on page 5, is at 22%. Are there any questions for registry of deeds? Seeing none, okay, you can just report they're at 22% of their expenditure.
We're going to discuss revenues
At some point.
before we're done.
Yes. The Sheriff's Department, if you go on the bottom of page 5, they are at 20% of their expenditures. Are there any questions?
I believe, Madam Chairman, that they have had a changeover in deputies.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can speak here, but he has hired a part-time prosecutor who is also prosecutor for the Wolfboro Police Department. And that is to help do a better job in prosecuting those people that he deals with, rather than the deputies doing it. That's my understanding. And it's a part-time position, so we're not paying any benefits. It's less than 30 hours a week. And it is on a as-needed basis. So I just wanted to give you that information.
Okay, and that's coming out of his administrative salaries?
Deputies. It comes out of deputies.
Comes out of deputies,
Yeah.
okay.
I have several questions for the sheriff, so when he arrives.
Okay, so when you can arrive, when he gets here,
Yep.
you'll remember that, we can go back. And Representative Umberger has questions for the sheriff. Any further questions that you want, we will come back to the sheriff, so we won't close that one. Okay, on the dispatch center,
I do have questions.
we also have questions on that one, so and that will be the sheriff. So let's now go to page 6 and go to medical referee. Anybody have any questions on the medical referee? They are at 12% of their expenditures, so thank you very much. Yes.
Yeah, my question was dealing with phone consults. I realize that we're not talking a whole lot of money.
Can we have any answers on the phone?
And pronouncements.
The pronouncements on 031.
I have no comment.
Okay.
I do have a note because I believe the attorney had to go to court
Yes.
this morning. And the response was the 2 budget lines are new categories of billing from the ME's office, not additional expenses. The amounts to apply to them for the 2011 budget were just a guess on their part. And obviously, they will fix it during the 2012 budget process. The overage figures aren't representative, I feel, as they are just a slice of, out of the total 80 ME budget that carries from year to year. They're not in addition to the bottom line. So it's just the way they were posted.
Okay.
So, because this year we broke it out a little more for them.
Yes, and we did not know how much, we've never had pronouncements before.
Right.
Okay, so that was it.
So they'll work on it for next year.
Okay. So at least we have a bottom, we have a line item that shows us what they are. Yes, Representative Umberger.
So who will be reviewing this next year?
Medical referee is probably going to end up with whoever is county attorney. So that will be Representative Algren will be that. So that will be the subcommittee for the sheriff also. Okay? Representative Umberger, is that all right? That.
So this medical referee will go to the attorney's office?
Well, the subcommittee.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yes, the subcommittee will have the county attorney, child advocacy, and will put in medical referee.
Okay.
And Jim,
Yes.
how many cases does this represent here in the first quarter?
You're gonna have to ask the I assume we're gonna have to ask the sheriff all the questions, because he does not know. I mean, because he's not here.
The medical referee comes under the sheriff? And not the-
Apparently, no, not the
County
attorney,
attorney.
sheriff, the county attorney.
County attorney.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I'm sorry. So what would happen is we would have to ask the county attorney, and the question would be, how many cases?
We have almost $1,000 in physician services. While he talks on the phone, we got another 375 pronouncements, whatever they are. Plus, while he's talking on the telephone, maybe he's traveling because we got almost $300 in travel expenses. And
Yes.
how often do we use it?
All right. We will ask the question when we get to the subcommittee. Okay. Subcommittee chair, you get that one. All right, administration building. So, go ahead, Representative.
Where did this money come from last year?
Probably out of services somewhere. The pronouncements, are you talking about?
I'm just talking about that whole group. You said this was a new grouping this year.
No, there's just a new grouping for pronouncements. They never had that pronouncements before.
Right, I think it was only 2 line items, and now there's 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5.
There's 5. So last year, we had an annual budget, of 14,000, but we only had 2 line items.
I believe so, 2 or 3. There wasn't.
2 or 3
There
line
wasn't the
items.
5.
Okay, okay.
And so now what we have is the adopted budget is 414,000. Adopted budget for 2011 was 14,000, and I assume last year we only had 2 or 3.
Lines,
Line
and they
items.
broke it out this year.
This is not a new department, just a new line item.
Okay,
Okay?
thank you.
Okay? So the questions that will be answered from Representative Babson, other than that, we've got a 12% overall expenditures for the medical exam. Okay? Administration building, we are at 24% if you look on page 7. Are there any questions for the administration and building?
Madam Chair, one of the questions that came up was the fuel cost.
And what fuel cost is on 065, it's on page 7.
And that's because it goes from January on, and so we paid for the fuel during the coldest months of the year. And that's why it's at 62%. From now on, it should be less.
Okay. So it's how you...
And if I could speak to the care of grounds. The care of grounds you'll find in many of the budgets in the buildings, where the care of grounds is higher because of snow removal and the mowing, mostly snow removal during the winter time, so that's why that may be a little high. It's charged to each building by the farm budget.
It's how we do it. It's how we get that, the care of
And
grounds.
care of grounds, I believe also is the trash removal from the buildings.
This is the account that is the wash. This is how we keep track of what happens, and it comes in, one department goes to the other.
Right.
So it is. a-
Except for the trash removal, that's a out of
Contract,
complex
yeah.
cost.
Okay. Yes, go ahead, Representative Umberger.
Part of my concern on the fuel is whether or not we're going to be able to meet the remaining fuel costs with the 40% of the dollars that we have. I don't know whether we have a contract with a set price, or if we are
Based on
a
propane,
free
right?
market person, or, you know, whatever, because it's not only, you know, it wasn't just the question of the fuel here, it was a question across the board. And I don't know what you budgeted your fuel on, and I don't even know what today's market price is, but maybe you can come to grips with that and let us know.
Okay. It's all on propane cost, and that fluctuates from delivery to delivery. And this is our best estimate. You'll notice under the jail budget, it was increased considerably because it was too low to start with. But we can give you the average gallon rate as to what we're being charged for propane.
Yeah, but the question really is do you think 40% left over in your account is going to take you through to the end of the year?
If you can tell me what the temperature is going to be in the fall.
So what we have is a best guess estimate.
Best
And
guess.
if you go over it, we will be getting, you know, before you
Yeah.
go over that line item or whatever, you will be talking to us about it if we do that. Okay? Yes, go ahead.
So you don't have a long-term contract with anybody, you know, on a set price, you just have a, whenever you need it, a call.
I believe that's right. It is on a delivery rate from Eastern Propane.
Okay, but you're not doing it on a contract for, you know, lowest price for the, that doesn't always work out. Go ahead, Rich.
Well, they do have sort of a contract, it's X amount of dollars over the Selkirk delivery point, right?
Right. That's true.
So that's set.
right.
Okay, so we have it
Yeah.
for the fuel.
There's a contract, but it's a range that they have to stay
The
within.
last price was $208.
Okay, the last price was $2.08 a gallon for propane,
And everything is done with propane on the,
except for generators. Yeah.
generator rental.
At the present time. And we will be going on wood pellets for the new nursing home and the old nursing home.
Okay, Representative Benson?
Madam Chairman, can you tell me what we did, I don't have my, I guess I do have it. Did we raise the appropriation for fuel this year, or did we lower it, or did